Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, in Canada, Surrey, city volunteers are handing out relief supplies at a homeless shelter. Doctors work day and night to safeguard the well-being of their patients, but in turn face occupational injuries such as back pain and joint problems. And in our feature report on Taiwan's unique traits, we meet train conductor Zhou Mingrong, a guardian angel of train travelers. We kick off today's program in Canada. As the temperature at night dropped below zero, city volunteers carried out a winter aid distribution at a homeless shelter in Surrey, where they handed out waterproof jackets, woolen hats and socks.
Hearing of Tzu Ji's arrival, the homeless people are waiting outside the distribution venue to express their gratitude to Tzu Ji. The coordinator, Megan, says thank you in Chinese. 110 homeless people showed up to enjoy hot meals prepared by the volunteers, and the violin performance light up the atmosphere. A wishing tree poster is also decorated on the wall, while the volunteers share Jin's aphorisms around the table.
Nothing is impossible with confidence, perseverance, and courage.
They are also encouraged to give each other their blessings.
Sister and family, a new year full of job offers and good health.
The aid supplies include toothbrushes, toothpaste, woolen hats, and socks. Everyone can also pick up a warm jacket.
Very cool, thank you. Thank you.
Very warm and welcoming to house when you come down to the neighborhood, and we appreciate it very much. God bless you too. And my first name is Stacy. Thank you very much.
God bless.
Some participants put on their new jacket on the For Living. Thoughtful volunteers keep the cardboard boxes for the homeless so that they can use it against the cold.
You have come and just filled this room with warmth and love, and your spirit of giving can be felt, I'm sure, by all today.
The war in Syria has caused many residents to flee to neighboring countries like Jordan. To help the refugees, a second-hand clothes distribution will be held at the end of December. Meanwhile, early this month, Jordan city volunteers handed out daily necessities to refugees near the border of Syria and Jordan.
There are smiles all around welcoming Tzu Ji volunteers here in Jordan, as the children know that the volunteers are here to distribute relief items. As the war in Syria continues and the number of those fleeing to neighboring countries have also increased, currently there are over 100,000 Syrian refugees in Jordan. To help, local Tzu Ji volunteers have been preparing for a distribution since October. To inspire Muslim volunteers, Tzu Ji volunteers also show a video of how Taiwanese volunteers are helping to gather warm second-hand clothes.
Draw the smile is the biggest smile. From the interaction between Tzu Ji volunteers and the refugees, I see a real spirit of humanity. Tzu Ji volunteers really care for those less fortunate. You hand out relief items, yet you give thanks to them, just like in Allah's teachings. I think I can learn something from Tzu Ji.
The 2 days of distribution are held at small towns near the border of Syria and Jordan, in the area of Al Ramtha, located about 100 kilometers north of the capital of Jordan, Amman. On the day of the distribution, only 10 volunteers are on hand, but with the help of the Al Takfu Charitable Association, everything goes off without a hitch, and around 1,000 households receive Tzu Ji's love.
We are not only handing out relief items, but also we are showing them we care. From their faces, we can tell that the action we are doing today are really meaningful.
After the distribution, Al Takfu volunteers invited Tzu Ji volunteers to visit their free clinic center to discuss the possibilities of working together in the future. And as the winter months are fast approaching, volunteers are looking forward to their next distribution of winter coats set to arrive from Taiwan.
In August, Typhoon Solar left a trail of destruction in Taiwan, and Hualien's Hezhong tribe was one of the hardest hit areas. Government officials have decided to join efforts with Tzu Chi to repair homes for the needy residents. Tzu Chi's reconstruction work began on November 6th, with plans to complete before the year ends.
Seeing the start of the reconstruction of their homes brings smiles to the residents, as Hualien's Hezhong tribe was hard hit by Typhoon Saola in August. The Reconstruction Council and the Hualien County government is collaborating with Tzu Chi to repair the homes of 13 residents.
The residents expressed their hope for Tzu Chi to assist them, and we hope to bring an end to the days of living in temporary shelters for the residents as soon as possible.
It was mainly the kitchen and bathrooms that were destroyed by the mudslide, so Tzu Chi volunteers will prioritize the repair work and focus on restoring basic living conditions for the residents.
Although it was mainly the kitchen that was destroyed, but the repair costs is a huge burden to bear for the residents because most of them do not have the money. So we're thankful for Tzu Chi's help in repairing the home of our residents in the shortest amount of time.
Local resident Mr. Zhang was temporarily situated at the Taiwan Power Dormitory. When he returned home at the end of September, he worried over the funds of repairing his home. Fortunately, Tzu Chi will be sharing his burden.
I'm especially happy for all the help Tzu Chi has given us. The process has been smooth because Tzu Chi volunteers are very cooperative.
The repair work is split into 2 phases. 9 homes are planned to be completed by the end of November, and the remaining 4 homes are to be completed by December, as Tzu Chi volunteers work hard to ensure that the residents may return home as soon as possible.
Taiwan's tree ferns has been on this planet for over 300 million years, but it is now under the threat of a bacteria which has already killed 40,000 of the 140,000 tree ferns in Taiwan. With a high mortality rate, scientists are worried that the outbreak might eventually lead to the extinction of tree fern species in Taiwan. Thus, they have started a frozen ark project to collect and freeze seeds and spores so that the possibility of giving birth to a new generation of tree ferns is available.
The problem has been going on for 6 years now. This one probably died due to a combination of insects and the disease. It's an epidemic. The disease has no way to spread by itself, but uses insects as a carrier.
The tree fern has been on this earth for 300 million years, since the Carboniferous age till today. In Taiwan, it is also a level 2 protected species.
It has a lot of withered leaves that are still hanging from the tree. They haven't fallen yet.
Wu Jiefeng, a longtime student of nature, is worried. He says that the tree fern in this area seems to be on their way to extinction.
This one perhaps was just recently infected, and now it is already showing symptoms. When you see signs like this, the entire tree needs to be cut down.
Starting in 2006, tree ferns island-wide have started to die in large numbers. To figure out why, researchers have been hard at work.
If the center is empty, the sound it makes when compared to a solid center will be different.
The sickness in the ferns starts at their crown.
It is rotten from the bundle sheath all the way to its core.
After much work, researchers have found what seems to be a new bacterial pathogen that is killing these trees.
The disease has a very high mortality rate. At first, we were unfamiliar with what we were looking at, but after doing some tests, we found that it is not a new species of pathogen, but a new genus of Ascomycota, and we have confirmed that it is the reason behind the drying out and death of the tree ferns.
As for how the pathogen makes its way into the tree, researchers think it might be this bark beetle, no bigger than a pen tip, that drills its way into the crown of the tree.
Its bacteria and the period of the onset of sickness seem to match. In its habit, we also find traces of the bacteria that causes the disease. And of course, we have also seen some of the beetles carrying the bacteria, but we haven't yet seen them actually infect a species.
A year-long survey of private and public forests in Taiwan showed that of the 140,000 tree ferns in Taiwan, 46,000 have died, a mortality rate of 35%.
In the north of Taiwan, we have found that, at least in Keelung area, the mortality rate is 66%, and in Hsinchu, it is around 25%. So we are afraid this could lead to an extinction of the species here in Taiwan.
In order to save the species, the Taiwan Forestry Research Institute, in cooperation with the Forest Bureau and Citizens Group, began the Frozen Ark project, in which fern spores were collected and frozen.
This is perhaps the largest fern spore storehouse in the world. Right now, we have about 4,500 samples from around 350 different species.
From the spores, sprouts are grown. Each box contains different species of fern and is a symbol of the continued hope for the survival of the tree fern in Taiwan.
In our series of feature reports on doctors, today we meet 3 doctors from the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital. As doctors have to work around the clock to relieve patients from pain and sickness, long working hours and bad working posture have resulted in occupational injuries such as back pain, joint problems, and more. Let's take a look.
Wearing his back support is Shen Yiqing, who's the dental department head at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital. Shen says his back support is as important as washing his hands before seeing a patient. For the past 30 years, dentist Shen Yiqing has been helping patients regain their smiles. However, he suffers from spinal disc herniation and joint problems, since he often works long hours with bad posture.
Before, I sought help from the Department of Rehabilitation and Medicine and underwent physical therapy with lumbar traction. When I'm working, I will always wear my back support because it is hard and can support my back. It can also reduce the chances of back pain.
Other than his back support, Dr. Shen also wears special eyeglasses that can reduce the chance of blurred vision and eye strain.
The main function is magnification, and it won't cause dizziness, and everything will be in focus.
Other than Dr. Shen, many doctors also suffer from occupational injuries as they often work long hours with bad posture.
I once took out 22 teeth in the morning, and after that, my arms were very sore.
Oral and maxillofacial surgeon Sha Yiran not only has to work long hours, but also uses a lot of strength during work. Over a period of time, Dr. Sha has developed pain on his shoulders and neck. Luckily, the doctor has his own way to ease the pain.
We can press these acupuncture points, press 10 seconds to 1 minute and let go. I always press the points on my shoulders and do rotation movements. This will improve the blood circulation and stretches the muscles.
Thanks to the doctors, patients are relieved from pain. However, the doctors also need to take care of their health, as only with a healthy body can they safeguard the health of patients.
In order to raise funds for a Tzu Chi Ophthalmology Center in the Philippines, local Tzu Chi volunteers in Quezon City's Barangay Tatalon are hitting the pavement asking residents for funds to host a charity bake sale. As residents and Tzu Chi have developed a strong bond, some did not even hesitate to donate all the money they had on hand to help, knowing that it would be put to good use.
Holding a donation box, volunteers from Quezon City's Barangay Tatalon are hitting the pavement asking for donations for the construction of an ophthalmology center. Conchita Casin, who works at the City Hall, donated all the money she had in her purse.
Tzu Chi has done lots of good things to help poor people like me.
A past recipient of Tzu Chi's love, Maria Anita Tessina, also contributed as she knows about the good work that Tzu Chi is doing.
We were given help by Tzu Chi during a past fire, so I know I should give now to help.
Although it's hard work going around asking for donations, but thinking about their goal of hosting a charity bake sale, these volunteers forget their aches and pains.
It's tiring, but as I don't have the money to help, I am glad to use my time as a way to give instead.
As local Tzu Chi volunteers, we really want to do our part in the construction of the DaAi clinic so we can help many more people.
Everyone looks forward to the groundbreaking of the ophthalmology center, as that is one more day closer to helping more people in need.
Most of us probably have had the experience of catching the train. Apart from the driver, there's also another very important staff member, the train conductor, who takes care of all the needs of the passengers. In today's feature report on Taiwan's unique traits, we meet train conductor Zhou Mingrong, who has over 24 years of experience, and spend a day with him at work.
This train is Ziqiang number 228, leaving from Taipei at 7:20 a.m. and will be traveling north through Yilan, Hualien, Taidong on the East Coast line, and then through the south to Xinzhuoying. After we depart from Taipei, we will be stopping at Songshan, Badu, Ruifang.
A train conductor for the past 24 years, Zhou Mingrong has spent most of his life working on these trains. Even during holidays when most families reunite, Zhou celebrates the festivals with his passengers instead.
This is really a worthy job, but on the other hand, when you have been in this career for too long, it becomes really dry and boring. So it depends on how we look at it. If we see it as providing service to others, we will be happy at work each day.
Suling's transfer yard is the home of all trains in the Northern District and is also where all the trains depart from. Zhou Mingrong usually arrives 40 minutes before his shift starts and takes note of the things to watch out for, including the number of stops and more.
We need to find out whether this train has additional carriages or if there are any passengers needing help, and also if we are making additional stops, like during the music concert at Fulong. Many trains had to make additional stops.
As the train arrives, Zhou gets ready to check the carriages.
Normally, we will pass through the driver's room and we will make sure it is locked up properly because we can't let anyone in here. This is very important.
Zhou Mingrong carefully checks every seat as well as the air conditioning and the bathroom in all the carriages before the train leaves. Zhou carries with him the keys to the driver's room and bathrooms at all times. A train conductor is also like the manager of the train, who takes care of anything related to the passengers. Apart from ensuring the train is on time, Zhou is also responsible for the safety of his passengers.
I think working in the public transportation industry is a very sacred job because we come across all different kinds of passengers each day. Our biggest wish is that these passengers are happy when catching our train and that we help them get to where they need to go safely.
The work of a train conductor is no easy job, as Zhou needs to make announcements and serve his passengers, as well as get the trains to run on time. The narrow pathway in the carriage, as well as the driver's room, is where Zhou spends most of his time. Seeing passengers come and go on the platforms, Do Mingrong is just glad that he accomplished another day's work as the guardian angel of Taiwan's train travelers. Next, we meet a New Shoot Scholarship recipient from Malaysia, 8-year-old Chen Zhixian, who suffers from physical disability on the right side of his body. In spite of his physical condition, the young boy enjoys studying very much. For his hard work, he was awarded the Most Improved Award.
Walking to the administration's office with his textbook in his hand is Chen Zhixian, who is here to help his teacher. Since birth, Chen Zhixian's right hand and right foot cannot move properly. However, it doesn't reduce his enthusiasm for going to school. Knowing Zhixian's situation, his teacher Liao Zhixiang decided to dedicate more time to him. Over a period of time, the two have established a close bond.
这么你要帮老师拿东西，因为你喜欢老师。这么你真喜欢老师？
因为他疼我。
Some of the children didn't like him that much because of his physical disability or because he draws sometimes. After I talked to the children in the class, the situation has changed and now he's more accepted by his classmates.
Today, with teacher Liao visiting his house, Zhixian's face shows a bright smile. Even though Zhixian cannot write fast or speak clearly, it doesn't lessen his passion for learning.
He writes slower, but he always finishes his homework. Sometimes he finishes it the next day, as he's not able to complete all of it on the same day.
你长大后要做什么？
勇士。
勇士啊？怎么要做勇士？
因为可以保护小孩。
所以做勇士的时候，考试要拿第几名的？
第一名。
As the winner of the Most Improved Award of this year's New Shoes Scholarship Program, Tzu Chi volunteers hope to encourage Zhixian to create a colorful future with his left hand.
67-year-old Chen Zhenbao is this year's recipient of Taiwan's National Filial Piety Award. Chen's husband passed away 30 years ago, leaving her as the sole breadwinner for her family of 5 children. Now she also takes care of her ailing in-laws.
After 92-year-old Li Liangcan suffered a stroke, it is his daughter-in-law that now helps with his everyday needs.
My daughter-in-law takes care of me, otherwise I wouldn't be able to survive on my own.
Chen Zhenbao is the right and left hand of her in-laws. Her 91-year-old mother-in-law also suffered a stroke that left her nearly blind, so Chen helps to feed her.
She makes us food to eat, takes care of us. She's very good to us.
Chen has been the sole provider of this family since her husband passed away 30 years ago. But she doesn't resent her in-laws, instead, only has gratefulness towards them.
When my husband passed away, my children were only 6 at the time. My in-laws helped me take care of them then, so now that they need help, it's only right that I take care of them.
Now that Chen's children are older, she can fully take care of the seniors. Although up there in age herself, she feels that this is a sweet burden.
Tzu Chi volunteers from all around the United States took to the streets last weekend to canvass for donations for Hurricane Sandy victims. The Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters also held a media conference to spread the news and hope to inspire people to give a little of their love. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.